Welcome live here for the Dover International Speedway. That's right, the Monster Mile here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series, presented by Transervice here. Cup Series in the middle of qualifying right now. These boys are ripping around this 1 mile monster of a track. It'll be interesting. Got a good field out here and got a lot of things to talk about tonight. As always, I'm Joe White up here in the booth. I kind of about old Don Ruckle, man. Don, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing tonight, Joe? I'm looking forward to a good race tonight here at Dover.
Man, yeah, and I tell you, last week had an awesome race there at Talladega. It came down to an exciting finish. Well, some exciting things here tonight. We were actually talking about it kind of earlier on here, and something about a dash for the cash and all that stuff, man, about to happen here. And I know you a statistic type of guy, man. What you got?
Well, right now we got 4 guys are going to advance to Kansas next week for the Dash for Cash. Right now it's going to be $25 is what they're all fighting for. The highest finisher is going to take home the prize. And right now we got Chad Cole sitting number 1. We got Scott Simley in second, 19 behind Chad. Nicholas Cohan's in third. Jose Gonzalez is fourth. Mitch Rollo's fifth. And 6 is Chad Coleman, and the battle's going to be right there at 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Nick's 79 points behind the leader, Jose's 80, and Mitch is 81. So there's only 3 points separating those 3 drivers for that 4th position.
Yeah, tight. That's what I will say right there. I mean, these guys, man, are definitely, we don't call it the Monday Night Money Series for nothing. I mean, obviously there is money involved, and at the end of the season, big time money for the series champion. But what we're doing here is we're kind of splitting up the season as it goes. Kansas, I believe, will be the 12th race in or something like that. I could be wrong. Anyways, we're going to like the 12 races in or something like that, and kind of crown a mini champ, so to speak.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to like mid-series or kind of like a little mini champ inside the championship for these 4 guys. They can race for a little bit of cash there, a little extra bonus prize. Gets the guys a little more incentive to get out there and bang some fenders.
Well, since we got a little time here, got about 2.5 minutes of qualifying. I'm going to bring somebody up here and talk to him right fast.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who are you thinking about?
Let's see. I'm trying to see the different guys.
I hate to hear that, by the way,
Dash.
Michelle, man. As always, keeping in our thoughts.
Let's see if we get Scott. Let me go see if I can.
Scott Simley? I call him Scott Smiley.
Scott Smiley.
Yeah, he's always smiling. I'll bring him up here. Let's see. Bring him up in the green room so he gets a little bit of his bearings here. He knows that we're going to bring him up. Let's get a talk in with him here. So I think he's won the Dash for Cash, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, actually he's in 2nd place if I'm not mistaken there. I have to bring back up my chart. So I'll bring him up here and let you get talking with him.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? You're in the OSRN network live. Want to ask you about the Dash for Cash race you got going on tonight, man. You're sitting 2nd. You look like you are going to advance to Kansas. So what are you thinking about the race tonight?
It's pretty loose. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully there's not a lot of carnage, but
yeah, I'm hearing that off the corners on the long run, you guys are maybe having to feather that throttle just a little bit, have maybe an egg under that throttle when you guys are coming off the corners there.
yeah, that's what's happening. It's pretty skittish coming off, but just have to take care of it.
Yeah, that's all you can do here at Dover is take care of it, take care of those tires and all that stuff. You got anybody you want to thank out there before the race starts, or anybody you want to mention?
Turn 1 heroes, all the guys running tonight, Nelson, Stefan. You guys for broadcasting, of course, you do a good job. Cross your fingers, hopefully just stay clean till the end and try to race for it.
Well, that's all you can do is just kind of keep clean and be able to finish the race there. You got to be able to finish to win it. So, well, good luck tonight. Hope you have a good race, and good luck in that Dash for Cash.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's old Scott Simley. Call him Scott Smiley out there, and you kind of hear it in his voice. Maybe a little uncertainty about the track out there. As we see some of the guys here in qualifying actually having a excuse me, in practice, my bad, having a few little trouble out there. Just not, I don't know, just not what they're used to. This can be a tough track here tonight.
Well, like you said, they're coming from Talladega from last week, super speedway. You just hold on to the gas and pray you finish the race and don't get caught up in a big one. And here you can have big ones too. It's a tight little 1 mile track, high banked, kind of self-cleaning. So if there's going to be any wrecks, they usually slide to the bottom of the track, get other guys caught up. So we'll have to see how that goes. And like you were saying, they are getting a little loose coming off. So I think the longer the runs go, the more these guys are going to have to just really, really be careful coming off these corners.
Yeah, no doubt. And I made a mistake. I thought we was in qualifying. We actually still was in practice. And now we're in qualifying. My bad. We got 10 minutes here, or a couple laps, the best one you can do out here right now. And a good field. We got 30-some drivers here, close to the 40 mark, which, this is a small track by nature, but I'm going to tell you what, it has big-time speed to it. And that's why they call it the Monster Mile. It is a little monster out here with a big mentality. And I like that. You talk about self-cleaning there, Don. A lot of tracks, I know some of the viewers out there will hear us talk about self-cleaning tracks. And then what we mean by that, folks, if you're new out there, new to the racing, is basically some tracks, and really it's kind of confusing, and Don, you race, because a track like this with a high banks, you would think, okay, everything goes down low. It does. This is kind of what they call self-cleaning. You kind of go high. Usually 9 times out of 10 you're good. Now, I don't say all the time, but most of the time you're good if you go high, because the cars go straight to the bottom. Now, take us to a Daytona and a Talladega, though. For some wild reason and physics, in those turns, as high banked as they are, the cars seem to shoot straight back up the track. Don't know why.
I think that has more to do with just the speeds they carry there. I think the cars, they're carrying, in the Cup cars, you're carrying almost 200 miles an hour there in a pack. And if you get spun out going into the corner, your momentum's still going to carry you up the track because you're going so much faster. Here, they're going pretty fast here, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite the speeds that they can get to be able to carry that, have that momentum carry the car to the outside of or up the corner when they're wrecking. So here it just seems like they slow way down when they get in the wreck, and they just start all coming down the track. And if you're on the low side, you might get caught up in that.
Yeah, that's right, and you're absolutely right. I mean, we do have a couple other small tracks, and you'll hear us throughout the season talking about self-cleaning track, non-cleaning track, blah blah blah. Technical terms for the oval side of stuff here. But in the middle here, qualifying, got a message out there, I think from Jason. Folks, this is a Sim500 league. They run 4 times a week here. Sunday night in the Xfinity Series, which I believe you ran last night in, Don.
Yep.
Tonight, obviously, their Cup Series, which is their I would say probably their main league. The big time guys, just like anything in natural. Then they have Wednesday night the Truck Series that they run, and then on Friday night, if you're a late nighter, third shifter, or a guy that just loves staying up late in general, they have a midnight madness style series that they run on Friday night at 12 and 12:20 Eastern time. So 4 nights a week they can. Check them out at sim500.com. And I'm not sure if they're looking for entries into this one. Again, man need to talk to is Joey Katina. He's the man in charge. Send him a message over there on sim500.com. Let him know. Not sure what series might be open, but hey, I'm going to tell you what. Tonight you're probably going to see some of the best run out here. And if you're looking for competition, I know you've run out here, Don, but I haven't. I can just look at the way these guys run and tell you I wouldn't be able to keep up with them.
The competition is just, it's incredible out here how difficult it is to get a win in this series. You were talking about all those different series that Sim500 puts on throughout the week. I run in almost every one of those except this one tonight, obviously, and every single one of them, the competition is just so fierce. The competitors are just, it's very tight racing. It's the best. And like you said, if you're looking for good racing online, or if you just want to watch some of the races, then go to sim500.com and you can get all the contact information right there, and you can find out everything you need to know about the different series that are going on.
And they are, and 2 nights a week as of right now. They are broadcasted.
Right now it looks like sorry about that.
Oh, what's that?
I was going to say, right now, it looks like we got Anthony DeBarro on the top of the charts there. He's got the pole so far. Got Greg Evans from Steel Horse Racing right there in second place. I'll have to see if anybody can knock either one of those guys off the top.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. There's a name we're really coming accustomed to seeing week in and week out. Anthony DeBarro.
That is the truth.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, that guy has turned the wick up in the last 3 or 4 weeks here. His season didn't start out as of the best, but man, ever since he's joined the Boomtown Street, and I always mess their team name up. I think it's Boomtown Sim. That's it, which is a new team here to the Sim500 this season. Ever since he's joined those guys, man, it has just been a rocket ship out there, and he's just done good. As we say that, Mitch Rollo and there's another. See, I just said the team, and now they got him a 1-2 on the top row.
Well, what's good about Mitch Rollo getting that spot is you got to remember, we were talking about the Dash for Cash drivers. Mitch is sitting 5th right now, and he needs to get in that 4th spot. He's only 1 point behind Jose, who right now has put a lap down in 12th. So he's not that far back in the field either. So it's going to be a pretty tight race for those Dash for Cash guys.
It is, and it's something we're going to keep an eye out here all night long. You know, you've got Nicholas Cohan, Jose Gonzalez, and Mitch Rollo all within, well, 2 points of each other right there. So that 4th place spot, or really 3rd to 4th, is going to be very, very tight. I mean, 4 guys are going to get in it. 1 guy is going to be left out here tonight.
Yeah, one person's going to go home sad tonight. They're not going to be in that top 4. And, if I had to count on one of my favorites out of Nick, Jose, and Mitch, I'd have to say Nick. Nick is just so consistent. He wasn't here last week, but he is just so consistent every week with where he finishes and how he races. And I think he's definitely going to lock himself in. And then you got Jose and Mitch. I think they're going to pretty much be battling for that 4th spot in the Dash for Cash. And it's just going to be a toss-up between those two. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I want to appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. What's up, Tommy, man, Tim, Matt out there, Michelle, just seeing a few of them out there. As along to some of the other people, we're on multiple avenues streaming here tonight. We're at OSR Network on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live. Obviously, iRacing Live tonight. Want to appreciate them letting us be on the front side portal there. And on virtual2reality.tv Facebook side on their live side. So pick your poison on what you want to watch, because, hey, look, we're going to cover it all here for you. And we're going to have a good race, and we're going to talk about some Dash for Cash here tonight. That's going to end out in the Kansas race, as we got 4 drivers after tonight are going to be trying to compete for that one. And we've got about 30-some guys here tonight on a Monster Mile track for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. That, I don't know, I'm up in the booth, Don, and I'm already nervous with the guys on the track. I don't know how in the world they feel.
Well, like I said, I raced this track last night in the Xfinity car, and I didn't do too well. Got caught in a big wreck at the end, but it was the thing we noticed last night. The thing we noticed last night is the longer the race went on, the harder it was to get that power down to the track from the tires to the track with that grip, especially on restarts. With brand new tires on restarts, a lot of guys were slipping and sliding. They just couldn't get that power down, even in second gear. So we might have to watch some of those restarts tonight, because in the Cup cars, there's even more power that you got to try to get down to that track.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You talk about Dovers, the Monster Mile. These guys, man, are definitely going to have to manhandle these cars coming out of the turns there. And, yeah, you see old Jonathan Goodell out there, man. He's got that Steel Horse racing machine. Good guy over there. I'm on his Twitch channel, watch him a lot of times. But coming out of the turns here, Don, there's a bump. And you hit that bump the wrong way, especially on the low side, well, it could send that car spinning.
Well, what it can do, it can upset the car and cause the car to, because this track can be very bumpy, and it can upset the car, and the car can get a little bit bumpy and maybe hop a little bit, and it'll make you hop up the track. And if you got a guy on the high side and you're doing a little hoppy and you're starting to slide up the track, that can be very, very bad.
Just got a message here. So there's a 1-race playoff for the first segment winner next race. So I'm about to look at that, more info on the website, get you more info on that. Maybe Don can do that later on in the race for me there. Because I know we're coming up on that. We're coming up on our first segment and whatnot here, and I'm getting all kinds of
I'm trying to look it up right now, actually, tell you the truth. Well, as of right now, the standings do show you got Chad Cole in the lead with Scott Simley second, Nicholas Cohan third, Jose Gonzalez is fourth, and Mitch Rollo is topping out is the top 5 of the points so far. You got Chad Coleman, Rhett McBride, Eric Arnold, Mike Kelly, and you were talking about Jonathan Goodell's right there rounding out the top 10. That's my teammate over at Steel Horse, so go Jonathan.
There you go. Don't jinx him with the broadcast jinx down.
Oh, I don't think he can get any more jinxed on him than he has had this year.
Yeah, I mean his year's been kind of up and down, and yeah, I know he would love to have a lot better success here and there, but we're getting set here to grid these boys up here tonight. As we're going to get set here as that man right there from the Boomtown Sim guys puts it on pole. Mitch Rollo puts it out front. Anthony DeBarro sitting in second, so they take the top 2 spots here. Third place man Greg Evans. Fourth place Corbin Hemstreet. So I'll tell you what, the Boomtown guys that came here to play tonight here and show what kind of power they have. Starting in 5th, Nick Cohan. 6th place, Steve Marinac. 7th place, Chad Cole. You got 8th place, E.J. O'Rourke. Starting in 9th, Rick McBride. Round out the top 10, Nelson Rivera. Right there as we look through the rest of this huge, and I'm going to say star-studded field. I mean, you got a lot of skill, a lot of power, and I always reference it as some bad fast drivers and some bad fast cars about to do some awful bad fast things around a monster mile. 30-some of the best here at the Sim500. What you think we're going to see here, Don?
You know, it's going to be a great race. I'm looking through the field right now. It looks like you didn't have too many guys that decided not to qualify. Sometimes you get guys that want to start in the back because they feel that there's going to be a wreck early. They don't want to get caught up in it, but it looks like everybody pretty much put a time down tonight. So what they pretty much got is, you're seeing it right there. So, and like we were talking about the dash for cash, we got some guys right up there in the top 5 that are fighting for that. So we'll have to see what happens with those guys.
Going to be interesting here tonight as we're running through this order still, and we got was close to 40 car field, actually right there on it. 39 machines. They're going to take it here live tonight and try to see if they can't tame this monster of a track, the Monster Mile, the Dover. That's like I say, I just kind of get a little bit myself, kind of this place. It's going to be a treacherous one.
Yeah, this is a great track to go see a real race at. I've been to this track a few times myself. Watched a few North Bush races here back in the day, and it's just a great racetrack. It's they don't call it the Monster Mile for nothing. It truly is a monster. It'll come get right out there and grab you and bite you and mess up your night real quick. So we'll have to see, how these guys handle this. We'll have to see if we get long green flag runs or if we're gonna have a caution fest. How these guys just feel this track out and how they feel each other out here on the race. So we'll have to see what happens.
As pace cars pulling them around, we're going to get set here to go green flag racing, folks. And you can just see how much of a banking there is at this place. I mean, you're really at a bank the whole entire track through the straightaways and here. So it makes this place kind of unique, along with the concrete here and the bumps have to kind of settle down. But right now, I'm going to tell you what, the Boomtown guys they got it here. As the pace car pulls off, we're going racing here. The number 96 Mitch Rollo up front brings it to a slow pace. He gets going here. As the green flag flies, we're racing at Dover at 150 laps here. Going to be in the books. As we're going to be by the time we're done, these guys will be dead tired by trying to wheel these things around this track.
I was beat myself last night. My arms were killing me after wheeling this car around here, and I didn't have to go nearly as long as these guys are going. So they're definitely going to get a workout tonight.
Well, Greg Evans right there pulling up on the back of Corbin Hemstreet, trying to see what he can do. Behind him, though, you do got a battle. Chad Cole and Nicholas Cohan. They're right there battling each other. Nick's going way in high. Now, I'm not going to say the high line's not a place to be here because you can make that high line work after a while. I think it's actually probably the preferred line, middle to high here, because after a while, that low line trying to go side by side definitely is going to be kind of treacherous.
Well, if you look a little bit further back in like about 6th, 7th place, there's a few guys back there. The 41, EJ's going low now, but he was trying to make that high side work earlier. The 15 is Stefan. He's definitely sticking up on that high side. There's a few times that he could have went down low in front of EJ, but he decided to stay up high. So I think a lot of guys are actually going to try to make that high side work for him tonight. We'll have to see.
Yeah, so far so good. Everybody trying to get single file, settled down here a little bit. 15, Stefan Marinac falls to 9th place. EJ O'Rourke goes right behind him. Malik Ray, he decided he was going to make a qualifying position tonight here as he's starting up in the 10th place spot. Behind him, Nelson Rivera, Thomas George there. They're kind of battling it out for that position as actually you see EJ O'Rourke is falling back just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if he just had a little bit of a hiccup, a bad lap, maybe just got in the wrong line. We'll have to see. But he has fallen back a little bit. He seemed to have dropped about 4 or 5 spots, and he looks like he's about to lose one more position to Nelson there. I don't know. They're still battling out. You got Steve Gottschalk. He's coming right there. He's watching both of them. He's just waiting to pounce.
Well, right now, these guys understand this track can be very tricky. They're being very patient right here. And Nelson, he takes over that 11th place spot over Steve here, over EJ as Steve Gottschalk. He's looking to the inside. He's going to try to take that spot away. Got a guy out there talking about Brian Boris Cook. Brian Boris right now up in the 15th place spot. He's looking to see if he can't close up in there. And a lot of great guys out here tonight. I mean, they're just doing so much. But right now, you two guys up front. Mitch Rollo, he's sitting out with Anthony DeBarro sitting in second.
You're talking about Boris. He's working his way up slowly. And I noticed Jonathan Goodell, he was trying to make that high line work a little bit earlier. I think he's pretty much settled to that low line now. He's got Scott Simley right there on him. That's one of the guys we interviewed earlier. He's one of those dash for cash guys. He's in second place, but I think he'll be locked in there for that position tonight. He shouldn't have to worry a bit too much about that.
Yeah, Jonathan got a little wiggly right there going into the turn, had to chase it up the track, and that's another thing. The cars can get wiggly, and you see Brian Boris Cook fighting it coming out of the turns. That's what you're going to see all race long. These guys will just fight these machines coming out of the turn as that rear end will want to try to just step right out from under them.
Well, we're on lap 8 going to lap 9, and this is right about the time you're going to see. I mean, I know it's only about 10 laps in, but the tires already have enough wear on them that these guys are already battling the cars coming out of the corner. It's what we use the term that you want to have an egg underneath the throttle, and the reason why we say that is because you just want to really, really easy feather the throttle when you're coming out of the corners. If you just mash that gas, you're going to spin out. The front end's going to come to the inside of the track, you're going to hit the inside wall, and your night's going to be over. So you just want to take care of it, ease that throttle coming out of the corners. Might be a few times you have to burp it, get off of it, and get back on, but it's better than wrecking the car. You want to keep it nice and clean and take care of those tires at the same time.
Yeah, well said right there. I'll tell you what, boy, you got a mess of a battle going on back here for about the 19th, 20th on back spot. All those guys are on top of each other. To get it kind of fanned out right now, single file, but, well, they were almost 3 wide back there for a moment. As it seems like right now, we just kind of got short battles throughout the whole entire field. I mean, if you look through here, you got some guys single file, and then a couple guys, but it might go double file. I just got a feeling that everybody right now is just trying to settle down and see what they've got here in this car.
Well, if you look, take a look back up to the front, Mitch, he's got a heck of a lead on second place, and he's just settled in. He's got that clean air. He's got nobody in front of him yet. He'll hit lap traffic eventually if we get a long green flag run here. But right now he's sitting pretty. All he has to do is just keep that nose pointed in the right direction. He's got a good lead. The only battle that's going on in the top 5, it seems right now, is maybe third and fourth. But like you said, I think everybody's just pretty much settled in right now. They're just trying to run the race. The longer it goes, the harder it's going to be to pass, because the more those tires are going to be. Oh, it looks like fourth place got a little wiggly there too as I say that.
Well, that's what you just mentioned, the tires, and we're already right now 13 laps in, so now's the time when those tires start, and you start thinking about it. That low line, though, that was a perfect example of Greg Evans in that 3, going on the inside, trying to hold that inside, coming off the turn. That car just gets so slick coming off the turn.
Well, he sees Nicholas Cohan right now breathing down his neck. Nick wants that spot. He's trying to get in there, and Greg knows that. So, Greg might be trying to give it a little bit more gas, trying to get that power off, on the corners. And like I said, it can whip around on you so fast you don't even know what's going on. I mean, it happens so quick. And if you notice, the line Nick is taking compared to the line Boris is taking, Nick is he's taking a lane up the track from the bottom, more of a middle to high groove is what we want to call it. And Boris behind him, he seems to be taking more of that low line. Nick is kind of arching it, letting the car go high into the corner and then bringing it back down. It's just different lines these guys have to test here at Dover as the run goes on.
I got a feeling the line that Nick's doing right now, though, probably in the long run, 20 laps in, 30 laps in, probably going to be the better line. But as I say that, then I'm going to get fooled. He goes down low. but I mean, that's the tire-saving line. That's a good observation on it. But that's Chad Cole behind him, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Boris. You're absolutely right. My bad. I'm sorry about that.
That's
and
all right.
as we say that, Boris is looking down low on him right there. You know, you can definitely see two distinct lines by these drivers. And you can see, it seems Chad is, reeling him in there. And I believe Chad is the first place driver in the Dash for Cash, and I think Nick is second. Or no, I'm sorry, Nick is a little bit further down, so Nick's got a little bit more third. Thank you. So Nick's got to, he's trying to get those positions, but at the same time, he's thinking about that Dash for Cash. So.
Well, don't blame him. Points is always the thing, too. I mean, these guys out here, we talk about Chad Cole. He is probably one of the most consistent drivers there is, or has been. I don't want to say is because there's a lot of consistent drivers out here, but has been for the most part throughout this whole entire series so far. Always in the top 5, always in the top 10. Right now, obviously running in 6th place. But I'm going to tell you what, our 3rd place man, Corbin Hemstreet, he had to chase that car a little bit, and that let Greg Evans pull up on his back deck lid and Nicholas Cohan. So we got a battle about to happen here for 3rd place.
Yeah, this is getting real interesting here. Like we were talking about before, that tire wear is coming to an effect, and wow, it looked like they almost hit doors there. They're coming real close, and Nick is just loving this because he's just waiting to pounce. If you see him there, he's literally just waiting to pounce. He sees those guys battling. He might try to make it 3 wide, but I think he decided not to. But he's definitely going to try to make the pass here on Corbin, but he just can't quite get him. But I think he will eventually.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, right there was close. They went door to door and almost traded a few paint here at the Monster Mile of Dover. But that man, Corbin Hemstreet, fell back to 4th. Greg Evans takes the 3rd place spot. Nicholas Cohan, like you said, he's sitting back there going, what do I need to do? I got Chad Cole. Now, Chad Cole's in a unique position where he's at. He's definitely in control for the Dash for Cash position he's got. He understands that. Does he push the issue or watch what these guys in front of him do? I mean, yeah, that's kind of the thing. He understands if he gets up there, he can put this thing in the wall very quickly.
Yeah, that, like you said, that's one thing you got to watch out for. Or somebody else could put it in the wall and cause your night to go bad too. I'm looking back here at this 10th place battle, I believe it is, 11th place battle between Steve Gottschalk and Jose Gonzalez. And Jose's one of those Dash for Cash guys, and man, they're really a few laps ago, they were really getting real close. It looked like Jose was trying to give Gottschalk there a little bit of a bumper, but I think Steve's got a good little buffer between him and Jose right now. And Jose is he's one of those guys that wants to stay in the top 4 for that Dash for Cash. He's trying to get as many positions as he can so he can have a good cushion there on Mitch Rollo.
Man, I'll tell you what, right now, yeah, you're looking back here, I'm going to say probably the 9th on back. And all these guys are right there on top of each other. Right now, they're all single file, but at any moment, they could go side by side and try to make a pass. And again, we're watching their different lines. They're taking around Dover. Been relatively clean, knock on wood. Don't want to jinx it. Always when we say that, we always end up jinxing something. But right now, lap 24, 150 in the books. As you see, Jose Gonzalez, he's on the inside there, Steven, and he takes that spot away.
Yeah, he gets him. He got that spot. He got by him. It's going to be a little bit more points for him for that Dash for Cash. So we'll have to see how that goes for him. But Steve Gottschalk, he's got everybody crawling up on him now. He's got his teammate a few cars back that's also looking for a position. So Steve's falling back. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the car's going away. Maybe he's battling with the tires. We'll have to see what happens.
Yep, falling back right now to the 14th place spot. Very good race so far. I mean, you got a lot of cars that are just on top of each other, so you got action all over the place. Most notably, Mitch Rollo. He is climbing away from his teammate, Anthony Navarro. Up front, Greg Evans. And you have to excuse me tonight, folks. My sinuses are in overdrive along with these guys on the track, and it's kind of affecting my wording some. So if I sound like I'm half drunk or whatever, I apologize.
Well, hey, that time of year, sinuses get us all. And, if I act like I'm half drunk, it's probably because I am. But well, we're looking at the top three up here. Let's get back to this: Mitch Rollo, Anthony DeBarro, and Greg Evans. I mean, you're talking about the battles on the track. Those three have spread out so much that it's not even a battle between those three right now. Mitch is just walking away with it. He's setting the pace. He's starting to catch slower cars, so that might be a factor. But I mean, these guys are just they're the class of the field right now. So if it stays green, wow, the rest of the field is gonna really have a rough night because these guys are just killing it.
Yeah, the top two guys, man, right now, I mean, they've got it under control. They got the track figured out as of right now. Obviously, the track could change as the race goes on, but right now, you're right. Greg Evans, he's still got Nick Cohan right there on him. So if he makes a slight mistake, then yeah, Nick could pounce on him along with Chad Cole, but hey, you're top two. Now, here's the thing, too. Mitch Rollo, he's starting to get lap traffic. And that's another thing he's got to be very careful with. You see the 43 machine there. Doug Roth, and I always love looking at his paint jobs, but got a little damage on that car. Don't know where he got that from. Didn't see a caution or anything. Didn't see how he spun, but he got that left side there all tore up.
Yeah, sometimes you come off the corner, you might bounce off the wall a few times, or maybe he even lost it and went to the inside and hit the inside wall, but not enough to make a caution come out, which is a shame because I agree, that is one of the most beautiful cars out here. I love that paint scheme each and every week. It's just a great paint scheme. It's a shame he's not doing a little bit better tonight in that car, but still a pretty car.
Absolutely. Did a fantastic job last week, and that's pretty good. And seems like you got a fan club out there, Don, on the Facebook side here. Says, Don Runkle Jr.'s voice is so hot.
Well, I can't help it. It's it's just what God gave me. I'm sorry, I'm blessed with it. That's just what it is.
It's from a Calvin. Calvin, I'll mess his last name up. Okay, I'm glad you know the last name because I'll mess that up.
That's Calvin Pilarski. He's over there at PMS Simulations. Is a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
All right, good deal. Well, there you go. Fan club, awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, right now is it's a good race out here so far. Been green flags, quite impressive. I mean, and that's another thing. I'll touch on that real quick here, folks. This league here, the Sim500. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had races with bad races, but we've a lot of great races, and we're talking about week in and week out. I don't want to compare it to any other league. I mean, because all leagues have their good sides to them, but here at Sim500, they are bringing in 39, 40 car fields week in and week out here. And the talent of racing, but to be able to go on a track like we talked about tonight here, Don, being Dover, with the amount of cars out here, especially the Cup car, but to go 30-some laps right now, we're caution free. Don't want to jinx it, and obviously usually when I say that, the next thing we know we get a caution, but that's impressive.
It's very impressive. We're working on lap 35 here. It's very impressive to have a caution free race with these guys. And this is. We have certain leagues, certain series in the leagues that we call, the free leagues or the free series, and the ones that you have to pay to get in. And this is definitely one you have to pay to race. So these guys all paid an entry fee to race. So it's, these guys are very serious about this. They, they put their own money into racing in this series. So, they take it serious. There's a lot of teams out here. Guys help each other. They practice in their own time. They put money into their rigs. So, a lot of these guys, this is a very it's a very time-consuming and serious thing they put into their life, really, as a hobby or whatever. So, to have it go green and not have it be a caution fest is a great thing. As a driver myself that races in some of these series, you don't want to ride around the track under yellow. You want to race. So, no, this is great, right? We're almost coming up on almost 40 laps and we haven't had a yellow yet. And like you said, I don't want to jinx it, but this has been great racing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. My sentiments on that one too, and it seems like some guys went into the pits. Casey Duncan's got a lot. I'm gonna say that's where the damage come from Doug Roth, because he's got a lot of damage on his machine too. So they must have got into each other somewhere in the back there. And again, if they'd have got going, iRacing wouldn't have thrown a caution. We wouldn't have known. And being such a big field, folks, like I say, just kind of missed some of that things. But yeah, he's kind of tore up, went into there. And unfortunately, Casey Duncan in the Dunkin' Donut machine just kind of tore it up a little bit.
And we were talking about tire wear earlier. One thing you'll notice if you're looking at the broadcast, you'll see going through the corners, you'll be able to see the tire buildup, the particular buildup, the little marbles is what they call it, on the inside of the track on the apron. And that's from all the tire wear. That's, in iRacing, it's a simulator. So they simulate the tire wear, they simulate the dust, the granules that fly up on the track. So there, there's a distinct groove, and if guys get out of that groove and they get into that dirt and those marbles, especially in the high side of the track, if they get to that dark area of the track and they get into the gray area at the top of the track, they get pushed up there or have a bad entry or exit, they get all those marbles and junk on their car. They can get really loose. It can cause an issue, and you'll see that build up more and more in the corners on the high side and on the apron outside of the groove of the track as the race goes on.
Well, you also talk about that, folks, if you keep an eye on it, like what you just said right there. I always love throughout the race watching the corners. And we saw here, you see how it starts to turn black, and I noticed that throughout broadcast when I first started to watch. And by the time the broadcast was over with, that whole turn was black. Like you just said, that means laying down rubber in the turns. And we got a good battle brewing here for actually the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place spot. Nick Cohan now has got his hands full with Rick McBride, who's came out of nowhere and got to pass Chad Cole.
Yeah, Rick McBride just snuck up and he got past Chad. Now he's breathing on the neck of Nick Cohan there, and Nick in front of him has got Greg Evans. So Rhett McBride and Greg Evans, those are two teammates in Steel Horse Racing, and Nick Cohan used to be on Steel Horse Racing about a year or so ago. He's on Dizzy Motorsports now, started his own team. But yeah, got a good battle going on. These three guys right here are just, you can put a blanket over them almost. And Chad, he's in it too. He's still right there too.
Absolutely. Chad Cole's back up there still in 6th place spot. Corbin Hemstreet's the one who's kind of fallen off the pace just a little bit as he's fallen back there to actually the 7th place. Mitch Rollo still in control of this one by 2.9 seconds over Anthony DeBarro, excuse me. I don't want to say LeBarro. Anthony DeBarro. And Greg Evans still in 3rd. Nicholas Cohan, he's hanging right there in the 4th place. And we're talking about Rick McBride coming up in the 5th. So right now, these guys still are at lap 43 of 150 in here. I just don't know how long. Well, as I say that, Anthony's coming into the... Whoa, wait a minute. Anthony's got damage. What happened to him?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what happened to him, but I'm looking, he just has some black flags cleared too, and I'm not really sure why that happened. I'm going back on my end, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in 2nd, but it also looked like...
Yeah.
I don't know,
oh, I see what
chart,
happened.
yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at it right here. On lap 41, it appears that he might have got a little bit loose. He got a little loose. He tapped the wall. Okay, here what happened. On lap 42, going on to 42, it looked like he tapped the wall, got a little loose, came down the track to gather it up, and he actually went below the exit cone of pit road. He got it back, gathered back up, and he got it settled. But I think that's why he got the damage, and I believe that's why he fell off the pace a little bit, and they had to clear a black flag because obviously iRacing threw a black flag because they counted him as speeding on pit road when he really didn't. He just caught the end of it while he was gathering his car up.
Makes sense as to sorry about that, I had to sneeze. It makes sense also to my timing and scoring over here as to why it only says he's been out there for 5 laps on his tires. It registered him as going into the pit, so I was wondering that.
Correct.
I was like, wait a minute, he's still in 2nd and was able to make a pit stop. That's one bad fast crew he's got.
That's just a little technical glitch on iRacing's part because, like I said, I think he hit the green cone, rip the cone and his family, thoughts and prayers. But I do believe he killed that cone and they had to clear that black flag for him. But he seems to be gathering back up right now, so looked like he had somebody get a little loose in front of him right there, the 21, but I think he's okay now, and I don't think the damage affected him too much. We'll have to see how the race goes. E.J. Rourke's right on him, though, and Nicholas Cohan's right there, and as I say that, E.J. almost turned it around right in front of Nick.
Yeah, I'm watching some of these guys. Folks, we're in 48 laps straight here on tires. At this point, these tires, these guys are begging the crewmen, hey, look, when can I come in and get full fresh tires out here? You got to stay out as long as you can. Nick Cohan's breathing down the back deck lid of Anthony right now, though. I just got a feeling now's the time you're going to get the guys to drive and a look at Chad Cole. So Folks, if you want to see these guys out here manhandling it and their nerves tested, now's the time it's going to happen.
Yeah, we have a good battle here with Nick Cohan. He's looking inside right now, and man, he's like you were talking about before. The tire wear is so crazy, and Nick is running the low line, so he has to be really careful not to push up into that high line, you know, into Anthony while he's trying to pass him. But at the same time, he's got to protect his position from Rhett McBride, who's right there behind him. So, wow, I mean, these guys are really battling it out right here. And, you know, I think Rhett's just trying to figure out which line he wants to go in. It almost seems like he wants to stay on the highest side, but then Nick gets a run, so he goes on the low side. So these guys are just battling it out right here. These 4 cars are just really, really battling for those positions.
And not only battling for positions, but battling to hang on to those machines out there. As Nick Cohan got up on the back end. Here comes Rick McBride to the inside. He's going to try to make it. Had to thread the needle, and then he had to do a awesome Vaughn Griffin Jr. slide coming out of there. Wow, that's some driving there.
That was crazy. Then you had a slow car. It looked like either going into the pits or coming out of the pits, or maybe he was just trying to get out of the way. That was on the apron. He got really, really close. These guys are, I mean, these guys, they're wrecking, but they're just trying to find a place for it to happen. It's really going to happen here soon. And I think you got some guys that lap cars that actually have already pitted, and they might be on some fresher tires with these lead lap cars that are on old tires. So, wow, I mean, you got a lap car that's passing them on the high side right now because he's got fresh tires. And, you know, he's got to go too. So this is the way it goes out here. Old tires, new tires, these guys just got to battle out, try to figure it out.
Here's where the skill and the patience come into play, because like you said, you've got guys on new tires, guys on older tires, you know, 50-some lap old tires, and these guys out here now are going to go side by side battling. I mean, folks, what you're watching here is the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. They're all right there in a nutshell together. And then a couple lap machines behind them who came in on new tires will be a lot faster. And these guys here, these 5 or so machines, well, they're on 50-some old lap machines, just trying to hang on to these cars and still going side by side.
Just battling. They're not even, they don't even care about the lap cars. These guys right now, you got Rhett McBride. He's trying to get past Anthony, and then he's also got Chad and Greg right there on him. So they don't care where the lap cars are if they're faster. They just want them to get out of the way and not mess up their racing. That's all they care about.
Yeah, right now.
Look at Rhett right there, right next to Anthony. He pushed up a little bit coming out of that corner. I thought they were going to make contact, but
they did.
They do make contact. Oh, and Anthony's in the wall. Anthony is hard into the wall. It looked like that was off the bumper of Rhett McBride. It looked like, from my view, I mean, that's my teammate, so I don't want to blame him, but it looked like that might have been a little bit of a bumping deal there.
I think he got loose coming out of the turn. Let's go back and watch a different angle here. I mean, they both were side by side coming out of that turn. Rick McBride, he was holding on to it there. He got a little squirrely. I don't know. This looked like, man, they both just made contact at the same time. Yeah. Obviously, now the worst part about that is Chad Cole. Nowhere to go. Brian Borscook sliding around because the whole field again, and Jonathan Goodell getting hit in the rear there a little bit. Let's go back one more time and just watch it on a different angle. But, you know, from my point of view, again, I let the admins do what they need to do. It's like Rick McBride. He kind of lost it coming out of the turn there.
It was a beautiful
They were side by side, yeah. Rick came up just a little bit, made contact. They both made contact again. And Chad Cole, nowhere to go, tried to get slowed down. He went high, and Brian Borscook comes in the picture there sliding. Jonathan Goodell hits the brakes and then gets hit in the rear. I mean, just kind of one of those accordion effects. Short track racing, basically.
Yeah, that's all it was. It's just short track racing, a racing deal there. You know, it was nothing malicious by any of the drivers, but that really, really stinks for Chad Cole. He's the #1 driver in that Dash for Cash, so we'll have to see how that affects his race tonight.
Well, caution for the first time here tonight at lap 58, 57 here. So they went quite a bit of ways before we had our first caution. Mitch Rollo's on pit road. He's probably loving every minute of this. He definitely wants those tires and fuel. And looks like the 2 machine, Mike Kelly, well, he beat him off pit road.
Yeah, he definitely did. And a few guys you got Steve Gottschalk beat Rhett McBride off pit road, but Rhett's also getting some damage fixed, and he had a bad pit stop. He missed his pit stall, slipped through. He's just having a bad night. So we'll have to see how these guys that got damaged from that wreck, that got caught up in it, like Chad Cole, but to see how bad their cars are, really, because sometimes you can get some front end damage. Your car might overheat a little bit. It might be under power. We'll just have to see how these guys handle this when we go back under green.
Yeah, and as far as Chad Cole being one of those Dash for Cash recipients right now, and actually if we look at it, another person that we haven't really mentioned all night tonight, that's Malik Ray. He's out of the race.
Yes, he definitely is. He's one of the faster guys tonight. You know what? I never even noticed he must have dropped out very early because he's 20 laps down. So that happened very, very early in the race. So is a lot of guys look like they might have just had one car incidents. They might have lost it off the track, and if they're in the back somewhere and iRacing doesn't throw the caution, then sometimes we don't see it. So that might have been what happened to a few of these guys.
Yeah, that's just a product of some of the tracks that we hear at iRacing. I mean, some of the bigger tracks, obviously that happens too. You can actually get way off the surface, never a caution come out. But Malik Ray, Bobby Wetzel, and Casey Campbell, all three machines out of the race so far tonight. A couple other ones are several laps down. It's like Timothy Johnson, 55 laps down. He realizes he might be able to get a few more spots up here. Points do matter. Has run the caution for the first time here tonight. We're at lap 59 here, 150 in the books. Almost got about we're definitely over 100 to go here, so gonna be a good one so far. I mean, these guys went on a long green flag run. Mitch Rollo out front, Nick Cohan there in second. Anthony DeBarro was the one, along with Rick McBride. Them two collided going down the front stretch there, and man, it just chaos pursued after that.
Yeah, with a short track like this, the track can get blocked really quick. You can't see because of the smoke, and then you got to worry about guys, what we like to call the ARCA breakers, the dreaded ARCA breakers. And what we mean by the dreaded ARCA breakers is the guys that sometimes there's guys that like to take advantage of it under some wrecks, and they just like to not let on the brake as much and maybe gain a few spots. Sometimes they hit the back of another guy, so that could be a problem too. So that's what we call ARCA breakers.
Yep, absolutely. So good run so far here right now as Mitch Rollo's in command of this one. As we're getting set here to stack these guys back up. Go back running here tonight. Dover International Speedway. Monster Mile here for the 7500. Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice.
If you look right now, like you said, you got Mitch Rollo leading it. Nick Cohan from Dizzy Motorsports in second. Greg Evans, Steel Horse Racing in third. They're just, those guys have been up front all night. Looks like the pace car peels off, and Mitch Rollo leads him to the start. Gets a really good start going, jumps in front of Nick Cohan there as they go into turn one. Those two guys are 1-2, and then you got side by side from third on back.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jose Gonzalez, man, he made a pit strategy move there and got up to fourth. Right now, he falls back in the fourth place spot. Corbin Hemstreet in fifth. Greg Evans pulls it to third. Mitch still out front with Nick Cohan there in tow. As Thomas George is another one. So mixing it up here for that Dash for Cash so far is now Jose Gonzalez is the man we need to watch out for there.
Yeah, I was just looking over the points right now. You got Nick and Jose. Nick is in second, Jose's in fourth, and those are the third and fourth place guys for the Dash for Cash right now. Chad Cole having his problems, so we'll have to see how that shakes up these points here. Chad might drop down, but they take the top four, so it could still be a battle there with Jose and Nick, and then Mitch too.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to go way back here in the back as you look for Chad Cole. He's back in the 14th place spot. Scott Simley's back there in the mix too. Mike Kelly. They're all rumbling around there. Right now, nose to tail, a couple of cars back there still side by side as you get these guys, man, kind of fanned out a little bit as they come through the field here at lap 63.
Yeah, and like you said, they still got a long way to go, but these guys are thrilled. They got new tires, they got a full tank of fuel. They went for a long green flag run there, so a lot of those guys were really, really struggling. It was basically separating the guys that took care of their tires early in the race and the guys that maybe abused them a little bit later on in the race. So maybe those guys some of the guys that they had a long run, so they knew what their cars were doing over the long run. They knew how their cars were reacting. how the tires were wearing. So a lot of those guys will be able to learn from that. And if they get another long green flag run here, they'll be able to either adjust their driving style or driving line to either save some tires or change their strategy some in this second run.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see Scott Stencil out there. Parker's not here this week. Was here last week. Did a great job there on his run, but not here this week. He doesn't show up every week here, week in and week out, but Scott Stencil, yeah, John is out here this week, as opposed to a lot of other guys here. And let's see who else. Seeing the car behind him there, Thomas Lattimore. I hope I said that right. Lattimore. I'm trying to think if it's number 6. Is that number 6 machine? That's the one I'm trying to look for. Jonathan Lockhart. Yeah. Got the
Jonathan
chicken pit.
Lockhart,
Yeah. I'm looking at that paint job. Nice looking paint job on that car.
Yeah, I've known Jonathan. I've raced against Jonathan for a while now in different leagues. He's a really good guy. He has good paint scheme. He's struggling a little bit tonight. He's 3 laps down. He's sitting in 31st place. He's a little bit further back than where he started from, but he's still battling. He's still trying to get there. I mean, if he can catch a few cautions and get a lucky dog or two, he might be able to do something. But there's a lot of guys that are 1 lap down, so those guys get the lucky dog first. So but he's still trying to run for points and everything else. So he's still battling it out there. And he's trying to get it done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I was looking at that paint job, really nice one. Good battle going on here between James Pescarella there, Brian Boers-Cook, Rick McBride, Chad Cole in the mix, Mike Kelly, Jonathan Goodell there, Scott Simley, all those guys kind of in a pack machine there, having a good battle amongst themselves, as Mitch Rollo still in control of this one. About 1.5 seconds over Nick Cohan, Greg Evans sitting in 3rd, Jose Gonzalez 4th, and Corbin Hemstreet 5th place. But these guys back here, they definitely, man, mixing it up.
Right now you have, I'm looking through the grid right now, you have James Pasquarella in 10th, you have Steve Gottschalk in 7th, Thomas George in 6th, and Greg Evans in 3rd, and those are all still horse racing drivers. They're getting it done tonight. You got all those guys in the top 10. They're trying to make it happen tonight. And then, Jonathan Goodell, he's in the 15th. He's trying to make it happen too. But, really strong team effort tonight for those guys. And like you were saying about those, Mitch Rollo, he's just dominating tonight. Nobody has anything for him. Even Nick Cohan, who is, the top driver every week. He's there to win. He gets it done every week, and he's even got nothing for Mitch tonight. Mitch is just setting a pace.
Well, even his teammate there, Anthony DeBarro, earlier on, who has been fast the last several weeks, has just lit the tracks up here week in and week out. Just hasn't had anything. So Mitch just kind of got it covered. Again, we'll have to see how that pans out for him here as the race goes on at lap 72 of 150. And watching Rick McBride, boy, he came through the turn a moment ago, a couple laps ago, almost sideways through the whole entire thing there. Just goes to show you, overdrive these turns just a little bit, that car will step out from under you.
And if you notice, we're getting at that same point that we were before. We're almost about 10 laps from the last pit stop. So these guys, their tires are starting to get that wear. They're starting to get that first bit of wear to where the tires get a little greasy, and they're like, oh, these aren't new tires anymore. I have to be a little bit careful. I can't stomp on the throttle as much as I used to anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Kelly's trying to work him over there a little bit. Brian Boers-Cook still back there. Just kind of watching these guys, man, as they're all there in a pack. Anything can happen, even though they're single file. One little slip up, you got the 77 there. He's a couple laps down, several laps down. Moving up out of the way. Good show on his end. I guess it's 77. Yep, 77. Moving up out of the way for them. So good showing right now. But these guys just got to be patient. I mean, that's the word we're going to use. See, Chad Cole came out of the turn all sideways.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just looking at the 51 of Nick Thames. We haven't talked about him much tonight. He's in 9th place. He started 25th, so he's worked his way quite a few spots up there to get up in that top 10. And he's holding himself pretty good right now so far. He might end up with a good finish tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, you're talking about 23 lap times. They're all actually lap times now are back in the 25. 23 was pretty much their best lap times under good conditions. We did a Dover race here fast, so 25, 26 lap times, definitely pretty fast times. Still watching this pack. 77 car, that's James Pescarella. Falling back to 14th, got a little damage. He's got the 12 there. Scott Simley up underneath him, trying to take that position away as These guys are still fighting, man, tooth and nail back here in the back.
Oh, these guys have no problem putting a bumper to each other. It's very obvious here. They're getting, it's happening. These guys are beating and banging and everything, You got Chad. He's Chad Cole. He's basically trying to limp that machine around there. They're going 3 wide into the corner right now with Pasquarelli going down on the apron. Is he pitting right now? I believe he might be pitting for some reason. I'm not sure if that's a scheduled pit stop or if he's having an issue. He's running 14th and he's making a pit stop.
Scott Simley? That's James Pasquarelli. Yeah. Well, he's got damage on that machine, and I don't know if that's just... He was out there having a little hard time trying to hold on to it earlier on. I'll tell you what, though, we got a race going on here between Corbin Hemstreet and Greg Evans for that third-place spot.
Oh, they're battling hard right now. Hemstreet, he wants that spot. Evans has been pretty much in the top 5 all night. He's been a very strong car tonight. He's been hasn't been able to really break out of that top 3. It seems like he hasn't really had anything for first or second. But Hemstreet's right there on him. He's definitely ready to pounce if Greg makes any kind of mistake.
Yep, just slips up ever so slightly. He'll definitely be there to capitalize on that one. So Corbin is looking good. You talk about it. Got a lot of great teams throughout this whole entire series, and 2 most notable teams, like I said, Steel Horse, but you got them Boomtown guys. I don't know where they came from. They started this season here. Sean Bounty won one of the duels here at Daytona earlier on, and then Anthony DeBarro came out of nowhere. You got Mitch Rollo, Corbin, Sean, and someone else. I can't think of the other one right off the top of my head. Trying to look. That's it. That's all the ones I see.
Well, just like you were saying, you got 8 guys from Steel Horse Racing tonight. You got 4 guys from Boomtown, and Boomtown's hanging in there with those guys. So, it tells you something. You got half as many guys out there. They're still, still trying to get it done. They're right up there.
I hate to bust your bubble there, Don. I know you're really big on the Steel Horse, but the Boomtown guys, as far as win goes, are killing them.
I know they are. Like I said, I know they are. Boomtown has got it. They have got the field covered. Steel Horse has got nothing for those guys right now. I mean, they just completely have them covered. Like I said, I'm a little biased because I'm a part of Steel Horse, but I mean, to be able to beat some of those guys, that's something else. I mean, Corbin, Mitch, Anthony, those guys are so fast each and every week.
Well, here's the thing, Don. We're gonna have to correct you on some things. You're gonna be in the booth week in, week out. You're not part of Steel Horse anymore. We got to be unbiased up here.
On Mondays, I'm not a part of Steel Horse. I hang my fire suit up, and I'm only on the network team tonight, so I'm just a fan. That's all it is. So, but
we can root for him though. We root for him. Now I will say this.
I'd love to see Mitch win this one, just because he's kind of the underdog. Not the underdog, but with the Dash for Cash, he's 5th. He's got to finish 4th tonight in the Dash for Cash in order to be able to advance to Kansas. So he's got to do better, and he's doing everything he can possibly do. He's leading the race and he's leading every lap. So he can't really do much better than anybody's doing as far as that goes.
Well, let me ask the question since you brought that up, because I really didn't know because we concentrated so much on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. What does he have to do? What is his calculations to pull 4th place? I mean, what is realistically what has to happen? I mean, from what you're seeing out there, I know we need to do some calculation on it, but what does he have to do?
I'm not exactly sure. I wish I would have asked Joey before the race because I'm not exactly sure how they calculate the Dash for Cash points. I'm not sure if it's the same points as they do for the race and the season. But, Chad Cole is leading it going in, and now he's struggling tonight. He's running in 14th. He was involved in that wreck. Scott Simley, he right now, where is he? He's running in 15th. So first and second aren't really having a great night.
Hold on a minute. Let me correct you on something. Wait a minute. Well, I just looked at it. Never mind, Don. We actually can get our question answered real quick.
That'd be great.
Because
I'd love to know where the points are for these guys.
Because 3rd, 4th, and 5th place as of right now, they're only separated by 2 points. So if Mitch Rollo really wins it, we're under caution here, by the way, but if Mitch Rollo wins this race, he pretty much can seal that 4th place. And I'm going to tell you what, that's a hard lick Joey Cattina just did right there watching the replay. We'll get back to that conversation here in a second. As Joey Cattina brings a caution out here and just spun up the track and then just takes a hard lick from the 38 and the 10, and then he just gets toppled over there. Wow, just a hard lick on his end. Lost it coming out of the turn, hits the wall, and then came back up the track there. Hate to see that on his end on Joey Catina's part, but man, that was a huge lick on his part.
That was exactly like I was saying before. Guys are getting loose coming out of the corner. It looked like exactly what happened to him. He got a little loose coming off the corner. He tried to stay on the brakes, but he slid up the track just enough for those other guys to get involved. And I know he feels really bad about that.
Ouch. Yeah, the hard lick, man. I'll tell you what, somebody get a paramedic for him. Under caution here the second time, man, and that's pretty much going to do in his night there because he destroyed that machine here. But real quick, since we're under caution, what we were talking about, I thought, I was like you, I was under the impression Mitch Rollo, he is 5th in the points. But here's the thing, between 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Nick Cohan has 79, Jose's got 80, Mitch has 81. So there's only 2 points separating them. So, again, Mitch, by virtue, with Mitch Rollo being where he is right now and Jose Gonzalez being in 5th, I would pretty much almost say that he would leapfrog Jose for that 4th place spot.
That's what I would imagine. I would imagine that he would leapfrog Jose for that spot. And, I don't know if Nicholas running in 2nd would bump Simley if those two would change spots, but like you said, 4th place is pretty much the only thing we got to worry about as far as advancing. And what Mitch is doing right now, I would think that he would be taking that 4th spot right now. I would think just 1 point, he's leading the race, and like you were saying before, Jose is in 5th. We'll have to see how they stack out after these pit stops, but that's what I would think.
Well, I'll tell you what, well, since Joey Catina's probably going to be out of this one, I know he's listening. Maybe he can get out there in the chat for us and let us know maybe some of the update on some of the bonus points as it is, because just by looking at it, if we take all the bonus point stuff out of the equation, obviously 1 point would be for each position, and yes, he would leapfrog Jose.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty safe to say that.
As far as Scott Simley goes, Scott Simley as of right now is back in 27th. Nick Cohan is 79 points out from Chad Cole, and Scott Simley is 19 points out from Chad Cole. So you're talking about a solid 60 points, a little over, 60 points right there. I don't know if that's enough. Yeah, I don't think even if you took the 1 point of position, that wouldn't be enough for Nick Cohan to jump over Scott Simley for the 2nd place. So we're still in that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we need to look at right now is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I pretty much think that Chad and Scott are pretty much locked in no matter what happens tonight. I mean, they would have to have just a really Scott and Chad. We're almost we're about halfway. We're past halfway, so I would assume that they would have to have a really bad night to be able to drop out of 1st or 2nd or whatever. Yeah. So I think Mitch is going to take over that 4th place spot if he keeps pace in the field the way he is tonight.
And I do too. Jose obviously is doing everything he can do here. Also, man, he's sitting right there in 5th place. But I'm gonna tell you, what do you do when you got a guy out front like Mitch right now who is just pure dominating this track? I mean, he has definitely got Miles' number tonight. Miles doesn't have his.
Well, if you're Jose, you can't do anything except do what you're doing. You really can't. You can't control what the other driver's doing. You can only control what you're doing. And if the other driver's leading the race, then you just got to do the best you can.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So far, Mitch Rollo is going to pull them around here. Some pace lights are off. We're getting set to go back green flag racing on 2 cautions here tonight. Pace cars in, and Mitch out front. He's going to put the hammer down here, and he does. Takes off green flags back in the air. As we got Nick Cohan trying, well, he's got his hands full with the other teammate there, Mitch and the Boomtown guys. Corbin Hemstreet looks at the inside, can't make the pass. Greg Evans falls in line. You got Thomas George up there along with Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah, Nick Cohan's like the only guy up there that's not in a team. Everybody else around there is all teammates, so he's the solo driver right now. And Mitch seems really comfortable tonight. I don't think he's too worried about Nick Cohan. He seems to be just walking away from him, doing his own thing. So, I just think I think Mitch has got this. I mean, it's early in the race, but the way he's going right now, he's got this in the bag. He's just racing one hell of a race tonight.
Yeah, just don't overdrive that car or make any mistakes out there, and he should pretty much have it here. I don't usually like trying to give it to a guy too early because, hey, it is racing. Anything could happen. I'll tell you another guy, man, that's moved up here. Oh, Nick Timms, Mr. 9 times his health. They changed up his color tonight. He's in a 51. He's in the M&M's machine, so I guess he figured if he had candy on his car, it would maybe bring a sweet position here tonight.
Yeah, he before that yellow, he broke into the top 10, I think, for the first time tonight. You know, he finished. He started in 25th, so he started way back there, and you know now he's in 9th place, and he's getting it done. You know, Nick is taking care of business, and yeah, he's great run for him tonight. I'm actually really glad to see that for him. He needs it.
So far, so good as these guys have been storming around here. Mitch Rollo still in command in this one with Nick Cohan in second, Corbin Hemstreet in third, Greg Evans there in fourth, Thomas George sitting up in the fifth, Jose Gonzalez trying to do everything he can for that last spot there, that dash for cash. He's sitting up in the sixth, Mike Kelly seventh, Steve Gottschalk in eighth, Nick Timms right there in ninth, and round at the top 10, look at that battling back Brian Boris Cook. So right now everybody's single file for that top 10 spots.
Yeah, Boris is another one who's been battling back. He dropped a little. He was pretty much in the top 10 at the beginning of the race. He dropped back. Now he's battled his way back up. He's in 10th place, and he's having a pretty good night so far. He started in 15th, so solid night for him.
So far, so good. As we're looking still just kind of look through this field here, E.J. O'Rourke, he's been able to move it back up to 13th. Chad Cole, who got an accident earlier on, everybody's probably thinking, well, why is he still out there running? Hey, look, he's got to get as many points as he can. He's up to 13th right now, and he understands it. And still actually on the lead lap, so doing actually a very impressive job out there so far.
Yeah, he got involved in that wreck, got some damage. He's running 13th right now. He's got Jonathan Goodell behind him. I mean, he's keeping up the pace. So I don't think that car's too bad damaged. He might be having some downforce issues in the corners. It seems like he's, maybe fighting that car just a little bit with the damage. That's expected, but he's still having a solid run. He's doing what he's got to do to try to salvage a good finish tonight.
Yep, and you're talking about two. You got Sean Bounty back there with Jonathan Goodell. All them two guys are running there nose to tail. Rick McBride back in the mix. So just throughout this whole entire field, got a couple cars still out of this one. James Pescarella, Chris Jabu. I figure I'd eventually get his name right.
I mess his name up every week.
I know it's bad. Malik Ray, Bobby Wetzel, and Casey Campbell all out of the race. And we talked about Timothy Johnson. Well, he has moved up positions. He's up to 36 now. And he realizes he can actually maybe leapfrog and get a couple more if he just keeps going there. He might be able to get James Pescarella for that 34th. I know he can get 35th, so keep chugging. That's more points for him.
And something I want to point out that we talked about earlier, we were pointing out that beautiful car of Doug Roth, the 43. And at the time we were talking about him, he was 3 laps down. He had a bunch of cars in front of him. He's never had a chance of getting back in the lead lap. Right now, he's the lucky dog, 1 lap down. If he gets 1 caution, he's back in the lead lap. That's how quick a race can change for you.
Absolutely. I mean, he came back all the way to battle back to 1 lap. Now, right now, he's in a good battle with a 22, and he understands that actually is 4th position before that lucky dog there. But you're right, man, to come back from 3 laps down and then just to, manhandle that machine. So all 3 of those machines right there, lap downs, he hits that apron. That's not what he wants to do because I could have thrown that car up the track.
Yeah, just as I say that, he looks like he's going to lose the lucky dog position. But like you're saying before, there's battles all over the track. There's guys even battling for the lucky dog position, and there's only 17 cars in the lead lap. So that lucky dog is very important because if the caution comes out, that guy's back in the lead lap, and it changes his whole race.
There you go. And, also he could do the wave around depending on when he does his actual pit stop. Right now, Mitch Rollo this round has not walked away from Nick Cohan like he did before. Now, I don't know if that's by design or if Mitch is thinking, okay, let me see what this thing will do if I don't try to run the tires off of it. We don't know what a driver does up here by watching or, anything like that, by what they're thinking. But I do notice Nick Cohan has picked the pace up, and he's right there with about 2/10.
I'm thinking oh, yellow come out. What's the yellow for?
Yellow. Let's see. Got a car around here in the back. Eric Arnold, I believe. Yep, Eric Arnold. Yep, let's go back there on the replay here and see exactly what happened to him. I got a feeling it's a single car spin. He went down to go down to the apron. Looks like he was going to the pit lane. And just contacted the inside wall and stopped. And not sure if he fell asleep behind the wheel. Don't know.
Yeah, I'm watching. It's a very strange incident. You know, it was only him. No other cars were involved, so that's good. But I'll have to see how this works out here.
Yeah, they'll race control probably have a talk with him on that one because a lot of time he could probably get out of the car. But hey, either way, maybe he fell asleep. I don't know.
And something I did, see last night when I was racing the Xfinity cars is, we had a few more cautions than we did than we have tonight, but a lot of guys were taking 2 tires last night, and I'm just curious about, we haven't really, it hasn't had that many laps since the last yellow, so I wonder if anybody's going to take 2 tires here. I'm just curious about that with track position, because we're coming down to the last, final laps of the race, so I'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, here we go. On the caution here, 3rd time, and look at that, Nelson Rivera. He beats him off pit road. He actually had a. Oh no, wait a minute. I don't think he ain't coming to pits. He's only been out there for 17 laps. Nick Cohan beats Mitch Rollo out of the pits, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That is huge. That might be the first time that this is going to be the first time I think Nick has led tonight. So that's going to be really interesting how that's going to work out. Nick's a very methodical driver. I know Nick personally. He's a great guy. He's a great driver. I've known him in other leagues, and he is very calculating. He can sometimes save his stuff and then not let you know what he's got until the end. So, he might have been doing that to Mitch. I don't know. You were talking about how he was catching up to Mitch there at the end, and Mitch wasn't able to walk away from him quite as much. I don't know. I think this is going to turn into one hell of a battle here at the end between these two.
And, I think you're right. A lot of guys can fool us. Early on in the race, it looked like they're dropping off and having all kinds of problems. And then later on, boom, they flip a switch and they're gone. And it's like, wow. So Nick Cohan could be one of those. And, again, who that favors, obviously, is Jose Gonzalez. And, we're back to talking about, let me pull up my points here right fast before I start talking about.
Well,
what's that?
I don't mean to interrupt you. Like you were saying, you have Nick in the lead and Mitch in second, and Nick's 3rd in the Dash for Cash, and Mitch is 5th in the Dash for Cash. With Jose, he doesn't know what to do right now. He's sitting in 6th place, and he doesn't know what these 2 guys are going to do. So this is going to go down to the last lap for the win and for the Dash for Cash. This is so crazy.
And that's what I was going to say here is now you got Nick Cohan out front, who obviously is in command with 3rd place right there. He definitely is going to try to hold on to that because he's got 1 point over Jose, 2 points over Mitch. If he stays where he's at, definitely, I mean, that. And folks, we're going off of just positions. We don't know what the bonus points are or anything. But we're just going off 1 point for each position. Obviously, who's in front of who here. That still could change due to bonus points or anything like that, but won't find out. So unofficial is what we're talking about. But Jose, like you said, sitting in 6th. I mean, he would love to see. What he'd love to see is those 2 guys get up there and just knock each other out the race. That'd be what he'd like to see.
He'd love to see that. He would love nothing else than to see those 2 wreck out. Trust me.
Oh yeah, him and probably the rest of the field too. So there you go.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Oh man. Well, here we go. Getting set here to go back green flag racing. We got less than we got about 40 laps here in this one tonight at Dover. It's been a very, very, I'm gonna say, an entertaining race so far. These guys have put on. As coming into turn 3 here, and we got Nick Cohan, new leader, out front. Gonna lead these guys to the green flag here. And when he crosses that line, it's gonna be lap 109. We'll have in the books. Will actually be 41 laps. Yep. Calculation right. Nick Cohan, he wastes no time.
No,
he says, I got to get out there. Yeah,
yes.
he's got to get out there and get out really front in Florida Mitch there. And he does, and that's going to lead Greg Evans to try to battle Mitch Rollo for 3rd or 2nd.
And what I mean he went early, he didn't jump it or anything. Pace car came off, and as soon as he was able to go, he went. He didn't waste any time whatsoever. you know, the leader has the control of the start, so he could have waited a little bit, but he didn't waste any time. He went, and he's got a good little cushion between him and Mitch right now.
And he's going to see whether or not, man, that cushion in between those two helps him and maybe lets Mitch maybe run his tires out trying to run him down. We'll just have to see how that plays out throughout the race. Greg Evans right there in third. Corbin Hemstreet sitting in fourth. Thomas George, another one, man, right there, been able to move it up here. As he started 11th. He's currently in fifth. And I do like that Mountain Dew paint job he's got on that car.
Yeah, that's a new paint scheme. I think he brought it out last week. Yeah, Thomas he's a ferocious driver. He's got a lot of heart. He never gives up. He's trying, man. I know he wants that win. He wants to spoil Nick and Mitch's party. He wants to get up there and steal that win from these boys.
No doubt about it. Looking good, old Thomas George right now. And looking good in his car, too. And he's got Jose Gonzalez breathing down his back end there. Call him Speedy Gonzalez, who has made a bounce back here in the move so far. Mike Kelly there in 7th. Steve Goschalk in 8th. E.J. O'Rourke has made it back. And old Nick Timms with the 9 times round the top 10 out here as everybody single files. Nick Cohan, he almost tried to take the wall down coming out of the turn 2.
Yeah, Nick just needs to stop looking in his rearview mirror, run his own race, and just do his thing. He needs to not worry about Mitch. But if you notice, both of those guys have spread out from the rest of the field. And Mitch appears to be catching Nick.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As I also realized something. I can't spell.
Well, I can't spell either. That's just because I'm a victim of the California school system.
Well, I went up there and I just looked at my Transervice, and I always get the V and the I mixed up.
If you look at that, Mitch is totally reeling in Nick Cohan. He really is. He's not doing it fast, but he is reeling him in, and both of them are walking away from third place. You know, we'll have to see. You know, like you were saying, Mitch was pacing the field most of the night, and Nick was chasing him. It's the other way around, and it doesn't seem to bother Mitch either way. He can be the chaser or the chasee.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch is definitely pulling him in right now ever so slightly as Greg Evans has fallen off the pace a little bit. So I think in the next couple laps we might have a battle up there for the lead. Let's see what's going on back here with Jose, Steve Goschalk, and those guys back here along with Thomas George, Mike Kelly and company, as they're all like their nose to tail.
Yeah, Steve, or as some of us like to call him, Nerf. Nerf is having a good night tonight. He's we're currently in 8th. He started 13th, and seems like, you know, he's settled in. He looks like right now he's going to get a solid top 10 finish if things go his way, and he just keeps staying clean and doesn't get in trouble from anybody else tonight. He's had some kind of terrible luck on Monday nights, but I think he took a couple weeks off or whatever. But he seems to be settled back in and looks to have a good solid finish tonight.
Are you outside?
Say that again?
Are you outside?
No.
Okay. You must have birds.
Oh, my door's open and there's a lot of birds.
That's all right. Oh, I was wondering.
Beautiful weather here.
Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, look, it ain't half as bad as the frogs I got out back. Them things about there. I got one that sounds like he's dying. You know how frogs usually they get near the pool back there. You know, they love the dang pool for some reason, but they'll get back there and they'll be all night long. And I got one back there going. I'm like, man, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, I got birds chirping like crazy. It's still daylight here in Arizona.
Well, yeah, it's nighttime here. It's 10 o'clock, so I'm on the East Coast. You couldn't tear down there towards the west side.
That's right. We cover both sides of the country for you folks here.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, since they're a good runner so far, folks, as we did last week here, let's go high and wide. But I call this the Blimpy Cam. That's right, Blimpy Cam here at the online simracingnetwork.com. Your source for fun and exciting sim racing here tonight, as it gives you a good perspective of the track and just how far apart these guys are. A lot of them are bunched up right now, but we do call it the Blimpy Cam here. Don, you like Blimpy?
I love Blimpy.
Man, it's awesome.
Going back to that Blimpy Cam.
Absolutely. And then all the people out there, Blimpy just when he's happy words, you love saying it here. And well, I'll tell you what, I'd still challenge that person out there to actually try to get in a fight and all of a sudden go Blimpy and just see how the momentum of that one shifts.
Next time me and my wife have an argument, I'll say Blimpy, and we'll see how it goes.
There you go. That's probably, what is wrong with you? Yeah, that's probably what you're going to get. Yeah. Oh, just want him happy words. But hey, folks, that's what we call it here at OSR Network, man. We just like calling it the Blimpy Cam. And just kind of want them happy words everybody loves. But I see a lot of people out there wanting, I'm going to have to get my voice up ready for this one because everybody's wanting the rundown order. And I usually do this too. Well, let me see if I can set it up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can set it up here.
Get everybody some TV time.
Absolutely. Out front right now, Nick Cohan. He's got that 57 machine. He started 5th. He's currently sitting in 2nd place right now, but he is leading the way here. Mitch Rollo, well, he understands. He's outside looking in for the Dash for Cash, but he keeps doing what he's doing. If our calculations are right, he'll be in it here. Started on pole. He's sitting in 2nd right now. 3rd place man, Greg Evans. He started 3rd, currently sitting in 3rd, looking good all night long. Corbin Hemstreet, there's another one there. He started 4th, sitting in the 4th place spot, and he's out there moving around pretty good. Thomas George, actually a very good looking Mountain Dew machine. Started 11th. He's clawed his way up here to the 5th place, and we're going to have to hold off on the rest of this because we're in a caution. We're going to find out where the caution is here, folks.
Caution always got to ruin the rundown.
I know it. Always does. That's what I was afraid of. But did you see what happened out there? Because I did not.
I'm looking right now.
Did not see. And we'll wait till it gets spread out again, and we'll go back to the rundown. That's always how I like to do it. I'm trying to do it. The only car I see that might have been is, unless they blinked out on me here. Oh. I did not catch that one.
I'm trying to find out right now. I'm looking too, and I'm actually asking in the chat in the race to see if anybody knows.
All right. Well.
Sometimes we don't see everything. People are telling me Jimmy, so it must be
Jimmy who?
Jimmy North. Jimmy North?
Yeah, because I don't see a Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy North.
It appears North. Jimmy North in the 84 car.
Oh, yep. He is. Yep. Oh, yep. That's who it is.
Right there.
All right, let's go on back. Yeah, I had to go back a few times here on the replay. Let the viewers see. They always love crashes out there. Jimmy North in the Lowe's machine, no relations to, and man, he just flipped that thing around like a big turtle. Hit the inside wall. Wow, ouch, hard. In a single car, basically what we've been talking about all night long. Coming out of the turn and losing it right there.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happens. You know, you can easily overdrive it coming out of the corners. It's very easy to do, and you know, even the best driver out here can just overdrive it, get in the corner, and if you hit that inside wall, your night's done because your motor's pretty much toast.
Absolutely. Yeah, Michelle, I know you're from Arizona out there also, and I think she said earlier too there, Don, that it was like 106 degrees. I mean, is it that hot out there?
Not me. I live in northern Arizona, sir. I'm at a 3,000 foot elevation. I think our high today was maybe 85 or 90. That's great. It's perfect weather.
Good, because she's talking about 106. Keep that over there where y'all at. Don't bring it over here.
She must be in Phoenix or Tucson. I got some friends down there that, yeah, they were complaining about how it was 90 at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you're right there, Gerald. Same thing happened the other night. This guy's just coming off the turn, losing it, wrapping around, hitting the inside wall. Well, we've got less than 25 to go in this one as we're getting down here, and I promise I'll try to get through the rundown, but got to get them fanned out a little bit before we can do it. Just side by side, that's why I usually don't do them at plate tracks. The things just change like every second. So try to get them fanned out here, and we'll see if we can't get doing. But we are getting to that point here where I always like to say, Don, business is about to pick up, and it's run what you brung. So I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more urgency in some of these guys racing.
Oh, you're going to see a whole lot of urgency in these guys. You're going to see tons of urgency in these guys. You got Nick Cohan in the lead right now, and Mitch Rollo, I don't know if he had a bad pit stop, but he's going to be starting 7th on this restart. So you got Greg Evans in 2nd, Corbin Hemstreet in 3rd, Thomas George in 4th, and Jose, been there all night, is in 5th.
And there you go. Was talking about it just like that. Anything can happen here in the race. Man been dominating most of it. It's back in 7th. As of right now, that puts Jose Gonzalez into 4th place. And Michelle said she's from Chandler, Arizona, by the way. So I don't know if you know where that's at.
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. It's a beautiful area. I'm actually in Kingman. I'm about an hour and a half south of Vegas.
Ah, okay, cool, cool. Well, I tell you, well, it's definitely going to give us something to talk about here with Mitch Rollo, because he's got a bad, fast car, but this is the first time he has been locked in traffic all night long. So, he's been out front, and I've said this a million times here, Don, that guys who are out front all night long, when they get into traffic, sometimes it's a whole new ball game, because you're out front, you're really not racing anybody, you're racing yourself. Now, you got to race yourself and everybody else.
Well, they're used to that clean air all night. They're used to not dirty air from these cars and having to worry about other people in front of you, avoiding any wrecks, avoiding anybody else. He was up front, didn't have to worry about anything. Now he's in the back, the game has changed. He's had clean air all night in these last 20 laps. He's going to have to battle. So we're going to have to see how this goes. And you got teammates, Greg Evans and Thomas George right there. They're both going to try to get that win, and they want it. Trust me.
And he's going to have about 20 laps here to get it done, as we're closing in on the final one here tonight at Dover. It's been a good one. As pace cars pulling him into turn 3, and Nick Cohan out front, he's doing what he has to do and lingering around the top all night long. As pace cars in, Greg Evans right there too, and Thomas George in the mix. Well, Nick Cohan wastes no time again, dropping the hammer and is gone. Greg Evans didn't get the good jump that he wanted, but I tell you what, Corbin Hemstreet did, along with Thomas George. They go door to door into turn number 1.
It looked like Greg might have spun the tires just a little bit there. I'm looking back at his restart. I think he did spin the tires just a tick, but he gathered it up, he handled it. We'll have to see how it goes. And Nick's got a decent little buffer there. Nobody's been able to really reel him in. Greg's been fast all night, but he hasn't been able to catch those two front cars. Now he's in second place. We'll see if he has anything at all for Nick.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's got a slew of machines back here that are door to door, all the way back, 2x2x2, going back from about 10th place on back. Also going to keep an eye on that battle there between Jose Gonzalez and Mitch Rollo, as those two men are nose to tail. But boy, I tell you, Nelson Rivera right there with that 22 with Chad Cole, almost contact between him and Stefan Marinac.
Yeah, there's a battle back there right now. You got Nelson Rivera, Jonathan Goodell, Chad Cole. They're all just battling right there. And Doug Roth, we were talking about that of him earlier. He's on the lead lap. He's back in this. He's right there in 17th position. I mean, he's battled back to a top 20 position. So that's good for him. He never gave up.
He has never give up, and that is a good motto right there. Just never give up, because you never know. You can battle it back up. Well, I'll tell you what, though. Here's where the intensity is starting to build. You got Nick Cohan up front, Greg Evans right behind him, Thomas George there, Corbin Hemstreet in the mix. Jose Gonzalez, though, if he looks in his rearview mirror, he's got a mad fast 96 Mitch Rollo there, who wants that spot, because that could be the difference between dash for cash and nothing, as he looks to the outside. And I got a feeling Jose's going to protect that bottom lane with everything he's got.
I hate to say this, but I don't think Mitch is going to run out of time. He could be fast, but that doesn't matter. You can be there, but you got to make the pass. Catching the guy is one thing. Passing the guy, that's a whole nother story.
Absolutely, and there's two things we think about here. I always like pointing out, last lap obviously puts an end to it. Normally with 5 laps to go, if a caution comes out, that puts an end to it. So as of right now, we're at lap 134, and we'll be coming to 135 with 15 to go. We could be going for 15, or we could be going for 10.
Yeah, as at this point, these guys have to think about that. Like you were saying, sometimes if a yellow flag comes out, and you only have a few laps left, that's it. That's the caution. It's not like real NASCAR, iRacing finishes the race. We don't have another chance. We don't have extra, green light checkers or overtime or anything like that in iRacing. That's just the way it goes.
Let me throw something out to you here. I just noticed on the track. Look who is in front of Jose Gonzalez. Teammate for Mitch Rollo, Corbin Hemstreet. And as he goes on the inside, think that's going to benefit Mitch?
I mean, I'm not going to lie to tell you that there's been times I've been on TeamSpeak, and there's been a teammate that can make it difficult for somebody that I'm trying to either catch up to or pass. Not saying that you would do anything dirty, but you could definitely make it difficult for another driver so a teammate can either catch him or, whatever it might be. So, there's another yellow on the track.
Yellow flag. Oh, Mitch did not get past Corbin in time.
No, he did not.
Oh, but Doug Roth involved. Oh, no. Wow. Man, I tell you, I was having a tremendous run all race long. Let's see what happened to him here on the replay. I think he was just a product of, I don't want to say it too soon. I didn't see. Oh, look at that. Mike Kelly just drove it in there, and the car just washed up the track. They were 3 wide, and Doug Rolfe was just nowhere to go, into the wall hard. Wow, hate to see that. Man battled back from 3 laps down all night long.
I feel for Mitch, and you can even tell how upset he is when he's getting that car spun back around. He's got to be so heartbroken that he was 3 laps down, battled to get back in the lead lap, and here toward the end, that happens. I mean, I feel so bad for him. He's got a lot of heart, though. He definitely ran really hard to try to get back in the lead lap, and hopefully that car is not too damaged.
Everybody's coming on pit road. They've been out there for 12 laps. Why not? Well, as I say that, Thomas George says not today. I don't
Nick
know.
Cohan looks like he didn't pit. We have we have Nick Cohan, Thomas George, and Greg Evans that did not pit.
Yeah, so Jose Gonzalez was the first one. Yeah, Jose Gonzalez was the first one.
Now,
Corbin Hemstreet and Miss Rollo.
Are any of these guys going to take 2?
Might as well. Or try it.
Might as well.
I mean, if they do, actually, if I was Mitch Rollo, I would. He's got the best pit stall of the whole entire thing. 2 tires would put him in front of Jose Gonzalez.
That's true. That's true. Think of track position. And you got to think about that when you go into the pits and you see the top 3 didn't pit, and then you did pit. Maybe you have to make an audible right there going down pit road. Maybe he was going to take 4 and he decided to take 2. I mean,
Well, as I say that, though, yeah, he took 4. And that put Jose definitely in front of him. And I'm going to be honest with you, it also put E.J. O'Rourke and Corbin Hemstreet in front. So it actually put Mitch Rollo even further back. I have a feeling I think I would have done 2 tires with the with the pit stall he had.
I don't think he should have pitted. I think he should have stayed out. If he would have stayed out, obviously I'm playing Monday morning quarterback, but if he would have stayed out, he'd been sitting in 4th place right now. He'd be right behind Thomas George, Greg Evans, and Nick Cohan, and he'd be sitting on the same tires that those guys are sitting on. They didn't pit either, so it's even. So he's in 4th place, and he's had a stout car all night. He has been the class of the field. We've shown that he can beat Thomas George, Greg Evans, Nick Cohan, and now if they're all on even worn tires, I really think it was a mistake for him to pit. I really think he should have stayed out. I think he's going to be too far back to be able to do anything now. Which is
I agree with you on that one. That's kind of I didn't really think about that if you kind of look at what you got here, because he's got himself in a hole. He's pretty much going to have, and again, I got to bring up, by the time we go green flag racing again, folks, obviously the last lap puts an end to it. If they get past that 5 to go mark and a caution comes out, which is probably what those guys that stayed out are banking on or hoping on, probably. I mean, nobody really wants one, but that's probably what they're thinking, that maybe it's not over with as far as caution goes. If their caution comes out, it's over with at that point. And no matter what Mitch does, and the reason why we're talking about that so much is Mitch Rollo for the Dash for Cash is sitting in 5th. Jose Gonzalez right now in the 4th place. Only 4 drivers get to move on for that for the race at Kansas. And Jose is right now hanging on by a thread in that 4th place.
Yeah, I would have to say, as of right now, that Jose is probably safe for that 4th place position as far as the Dash for Cash goes. Those guys that didn't pit, those top 3, that's exactly what they're hoping for. They're hoping for a quick yellow again, because they know, at lap 145, if there's a caution, that pretty much ends the race. The race is not going to restart after that, so that's what they're hoping for. And the lights are off on the pace car right now. They're getting lined up 2 by 2. Nick Cohan's on the inside, getting ready to restart this race with Greg Evans on the outside in 2nd.
Going to be a good one here. I mean, not only that, we need to watch this battle up front here as Nick Cohan's going to try to see if he can't seal the deal here tonight, but he's got a mean, hungry Greg Evans behind him. Thomas George right there. Michael Prister, boy, I tell you what, out of nowhere. They haven't mentioned him pretty much all night long, but he's up in the 4th there.
Where did he come from? Sean Boundy there in 7th place. He started 24th. Where did he come from? Brian Boris Cook, he's in 8th place. He battled to back up. And Nick Times, he's right up there. Steve Gottschalk, he's right there too. So we'll have to see how this works out.
Pace cars in. We're going back green flag racing, hopefully for the final time here tonight at Dover. As they rev up the motors here, Nick Cohan drops the hammer down, and he is gone, long gone, out front with Greg Evans. The battle's on for third place right here. As we'll check back here in the back, everybody's 2x2x2 all the way back. And man, let me tell you what, Mitch Rollo says, fellas, y'all in the booth might have counted me out, but he went to the middle, 3 wide, and is long gone.
Yeah, he's no fear. He's going. He wants it. He's trying to get up there. He has something. He has something to prove. He led this race all night, and another yellow comes out.
Jonathan Cadell. Ouch.
Oh.
Man, hate to see that one on his end, but let's go back and watch them. Folks, I'm going to tell you, this is just what it is. Oh, him and even Scott Stencil got together. Scott came up the track a little bit and made door contact. Jonathan Cadell just went up into the wall into that one. Hate to see that one, folks. It ain't over with. Boy, I'm going to tell you, those guys, woo, they were 2 and 3 wide back there. Mitch Rollo knows he's got to be in front of Jose Gonzalez, and, well, he is. He went through the pack like a madman there, Don.
Well, okay, well, I got something to throw at you, too, now. Scott Smiley, whatever, he was second in the Dasher Tash points. Mm-hmm. He just T-boned Jonathan Cadell in that wreck. He's done. His car is smoking. He's done. He's done for the night. He's going to have to pull that car into the pits. So how's that going to affect this Dash for Cash? Is Nick Cohan, who's now who is up front, is he going to pass Scott, which will then give Jose maybe a bump up? Is he going to be able to pass Scott? I mean, how is that going to work out here?
Yeah, he's got 60. Well, he's going to need a lot, because even with Scott Simley, and again, I'm just going off positions. He's sitting in 27th. Even if he won, it's only 27 points.
That's
he needs
true,
60.
right.
He needs 60 points to catch him. So again, we go back to, I think the 1 and 2 positions are good.
Are locked.
Yeah, locked. Our big ones right here, which is a 3. It really only 2 points between 3rd to 5th. And right now, Mitch Rollo just made probably the move of his race. I mean, he put no fear on those tires and drove it through all the pack of cars to put himself in 10th. And Jose Gonzalez is going to be in 12th. Jose's going to have to put that thing in overdrive with Speedy and say, look, we need to look like an energized bunny mouse out there right now.
Yeah, he definitely does. You got to remember that Chad Cole's got that damaged car, so Chad or Jose probably be able to get by him pretty quick. We'll have to see how that works out there, you know. And I mean, I know Greg Evans is so hungry for a win, and you know, you know, Nick Cohan being an ex-Steel Horse team member, and now Greg Evans, he is a Steel Horse team member, and Thomas George is also. How is this going to play out here? How is this going to finish out? There's just so much drama. Is Nick going to get the win? Is Greg going to put a bumper on him and do a bump and run at Dover, which sometimes doesn't work out too well at these speeds at Dover?
No, it doesn't.
At Martinsville or Bristol, it can work, but at Dover, that's a whole nother story.
Well, and here's the thing, too. If the caution does fly the next time around, it definitely will be over with. So Nick Cohan knows that. He knows he can't let Greg Evans get on the inside of him or get around him, because if a caution flies, when we go back green, this is it. So this restart will be the final restart of this one, no matter what happens in the books, because we only got 5 to go here.
I have Nick Cohan, no kidding, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Cohan, who is leading this race right now, literally just texted me.
Well, he knows it.
Texted me during this race under caution.
Well, right now he's in the catbird seat, and he's been up there all night long. He has definitely, man, has seen the front side. Greg Evans has been there. Thomas George is there. Michael Priester, boy, he just wants to come out here with a good finish. He's just out of nowhere. Along Brian Boris Cook, too. Well, I can't say enough for the turnaround for him. Rick McBride, Steve Marinac right there, Steve Goschalk, E.J. O'Rourke, and Mitch Rollo in the 10th place. Mitch just is fighting to stay on for that Dash for Cash right now. Man.
He's in the top.
And I don't think we understand a word that Don just said right there, because it sounded like a robot. Still sounds off. I don't know. I don't see any problems on this end over here, so I don't know if it's coming through the team speak or what.
How's that?
That's good. There you go. We got you back.
Gotcha.
Gotta
Sorry
love
about that.
technology. I mean, gotta love technology, I tell you. All right, here we go. I tell you what, it's final time. Restart time. Here's pace cars pulling them in turn 3 out of turn 4. And we'll take that hard left turn off on pit road. Nick Cohan needs a start of his life. He's going to drop that hammer and put that pedal straight through his windshield if he possibly can. He is gone. Takes off out front. Oh, and it looks like Thomas George spun the tires there, and he's going to jack the field up. Mitch Rollo's going to protect the backside there as he sees that he's got Jose Gonzalez trying on his outside, trying to get on his back bumper.
Yeah, he just had a bad start. He looked like he spun the tires, like you said, and he just kind of checked up that high line, and Nick Cohan is gone. He walked away.
Oh, I'll tell you what, 3 wide. Mitch Rollo and Jose Gonzalez understands that they're not giving it up right here. Jose had to back it out of it, but look at Mitch Rollo, no fear, takes a 3 wide, splits the middle between Chad Cole and Steven Goschak, who obviously gets pushed up the track.
Yeah, Nerf lost a lot of positions right there. Steve Gottschalk, he got pushed 3 wide. He lost a ton of positions, but yeah, Mitch Rollo, he knows what's at stake here. He's going. He doesn't care. He wants to go. He's trying to get as many positions as he possibly can. He sees EJ O'Rourke right now, and that's the next position he's trying to fight for.
Absolutely, trying to look on the inside. Nick Cohan still got this one by about a half second. As we got 2 to go here, Jose Gonzalez trying to do everything he can, but he sees it slipping away ever so slightly as Mitch is just a man possessed on a mission right now up to 8th place.
And right now, Thomas George is in danger of having Brian Boris Cook beat him. You know, he's got to try to keep that position right there. He's trying to get that top 3. He wants to get a podium finish there.
Absolutely. Final time. One more time for that man. He's coming out of turn 3 into turn 4. As we're going to watch this 3rd place battle, Brian Boris Cook puts it on the back bumper. Out of turn 4, Nick Cohan's going to win it. That man right there, Thomas George, is going to hang on to it. Mitch Rollo, he's going to end up in the 8th spot, but what a run for that man out front, Nick Cohan, to put this one in victory lane.
What a race. What a race. And I want to tell you something right now. I personally know all 3 of those guys that just finished in the top 3. All 3 of those guys, that's a hell of a run for those guys.
Nice, good deal, man. We'll always see it right there for them to come out with some good finishes here. And again, folks, apologize, didn't get the rundown order, but that's just kind of how it happens with the cautions sometimes. You know, you never know.
That's just the way the cautions roll. We're right in the middle of it for 5th place, and the caution says, I don't want to do that anymore. Look at Chad Cole battling back to 10th after getting involved in that wreck.
Wow. A lot of great battles here. Let me bring up here with Thomas George. Man, I'll tell you what, Thomas George going to be thrilled to death, man, coming out of here in 3rd place here tonight. Yeah.
That's my teammate there.
Greg Evans.
Another teammate.
Where's he at? He down here too? All right.
He's down in Steel Horse.
All right, see, and then the man who just, wow, I'm going to tell you what, he, at first of the race, we wouldn't have thought he'd been able to do it, but man, he did it. And then hopefully we can get confirmation from Joey Katina that Mitch Rollo did get that final spot for the 4th place. So hopefully we'll get that before we go off the air here. But let's bring up the 3rd place man. Let's get a talk in with him, Thomas George.
Thomas J. George, 3rd place finish, man. You battled it all night. How are you feeling right now?
I need a beer and a Mountain Dew right now.
I concur on that one.
I don't know, but honestly, that was an exhausting race. I'm not gonna lie. That was probably the most difficult race that I've driven all year, and finally got the result it deserves. At least a top 3. I'm good. I'm happy with that for the night.
Hey man, I'm proud of you. That was a great race. You ran a great race tonight. You started 11th, and you were definitely battling it all night, man. I was watching that. The car was definitely hard to handle there and avoiding all those wrecks or anything. You got anybody you want to thank or anybody you want to mention?
Before I
Hey, Greg, how you doing, man? You had a great run tonight. You were just hovering right there in the top 3, 4 all night, and then you pulled off that second place finish. Did you have anything for Nick?
No, I thought I did for a while, but we got damaged about midway through the race.
How's that make you feel heading into Kansas?
Good. I had to miss a couple races this year, so it really stinks to be down in the points because I think if I would have just had some decent finishes there, we'd be the points leader right now. But I just needed to have a good run tonight because I know some of the guys that are up in points had a bad night tonight. So I was happy with the top 5. So obviously a win will be is better than just the top 5. So we'll take it.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I mean, you pulled it off, and awesome track, treacherous track here, over here at Dover. I got a little ahead of myself there, but Dover here tonight for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. I'll tell you what, Nick, you did an awesome job. You got anybody out there you want to thank?
Yeah, just got to thank Target for being in the car this week, CGI Automotive, Trading Paints, and just my teammate Tim. He had some bad luck tonight, and just for everybody racing clean tonight. It was a really good race for Dover, which normally can be a crapshoot. So
nightmare out there, huh? But you pulled it off nonetheless. That's Nick Cohan, the Target machine. He had a big target on his back, but he held on to it here for the victory again. Congratulations,
and also a
Nick.
shout out to Don.
Yeah, there you go. Got to shout Don out too, man.
Nick, man. Yeah. don't want to
man.
interrupt you guys, but yeah, congratulations, Nick. Good win, man. You ran a hell of a race tonight, man. I'm proud of you. Way to go, brother.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, there you go. It's a winner here tonight. I want to tell you what. Let's see if we can't get our, I won't say our unofficial results here. As Nick Cohan, he does put it in victory lane here tonight, along with Greg Evans there in second. Thomas George pulling it into third. Brian Boris Cook almost got that podium there. He said he wished it would have went the last 10 laps under green, but he comes up into fourth place. Rick McBride up there in fifth. Steve Marinac in sixth. EJ O'Rourke seventh. Mitch Rollo, well, he battles back to eighth, and Jose Gonzalez in ninth. So still waiting to hear from Joey, maybe before we go off here, whether or not Mitch made that final spot due to the fact, and obviously if we're going off of just points by position, we believe, well, actually it would be a tie. So it's going to be interesting to see. If we don't find out tonight, we'll definitely find out next week, or I will know by Wednesday when we do the broadcast here for the SimSpeedShop.com Truck Series. But again, Jose Gonzalez in ninth, Chad Cole rounds out the top 10s. We looked at the rest of it here. Boy, some guys had some good nights, and some guys had some bad ones. It's a typical Dover race here tonight. You got any final words on this one, Don?
You know, it was a great race tonight. Nick ran one hell of a race, and we really thought Mitch was going to get it. I mean, he was top of the field the whole night. He was just class, and bad pit stop put him in the back, and Nick took advantage of that. It was a typical Dover race. We had long green flag run, and then we had some cautions at the end, but I think it was a great race.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that one. And folks, I'll tell you what, like I say, Wednesday night we got the Truck Series here. Check us out. We'll be back here live here at OSR Network. Until then, for myself here and Don here tonight, we're going to leave Dover, and it was an awesome race. Again, congratulations to Nick Cohan for putting it in the victory lane. So everyone, have a good night.